Ahead on DC News Now at 4, a man appears in court after being linked to the murder of his girlfriend's mother. We'll have the latest.
A historic day at the Vatican as the conclave to elect a new pope gets underway. How people in our area are reacting.
We'll continue to enjoy a beautiful day today, but showers and storms will be back. We'll time out when things will turn soggy on your Thursday.
Also, the deadline to get a real ID is here. What happens if you show up to the airport without one?
Make money with the tap of a finger. If it sounds too good to be true, stick around as you stretch your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
We begin with some justice for a Montgomery County family. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Tosin Fakile in for Annalisa Gale. After staying silent for more than 2 decades, a Washington, D.C. man has admitted to killing his ex-girlfriend's mother more than 20 years ago. In court today, Eugene Gligor pleaded guilty to second-degree murder of Leslie Prier. Back in 2001, Prier was found beaten and strangled to death in her home in Chevy Chase. The case went unsolved until July of last year, when police say DNA evidence from a water bottle linked Gligor to the crime scene. Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy says today's outcome is the justice the family needed all these years.
I feel it's justice. It's wonderful that this has happened, and to have this mystery finally solved for them as to who took this wonderful woman from their life. But I'm proud of what we do together. And I'm proud of our continuing search to find creative ways to make people in this community safer. And we did it in this case.
Gligor faces up to 30 years in prison. That was the maximum penalty for second-degree murder when the crime happened in 2001. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for August 28th.
Well, just within the past hour, black smoke seen pouring from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, indicating no pope was elected on the conclave's first ballot.
The top-secret process to choose the next pope of the Catholic Church began more than 4 hours ago. 133 cardinals have been mingling for days, and now they're cut off from the outside world to elect a new leader. This morning was a mass, then a lunch break, and then the first vote. We'll know when a new pope has been elected once we see white smoke from that chimney.
Meanwhile, here at home, Catholics are eagerly waiting to see what happens. There's a local connection to Catholic University.
DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg attended Mass at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Daniel, how are parishioners feeling?
Well, Tosin and Mark, they are hopeful that whoever gets elected Pope next will continue serving the church well. Some people are watching very closely, but others are not, telling me they don't want to get caught up in the politics of it all. At the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, Wednesday's Mass has Catholics saying extra prayers.
At this Mass, we pray the prayers for the election of a Pope.
133 cardinals will elect the next pope, and the faithful have faith in the process.
I want the Spirit of God to take over the whole thing so that they will bring out somebody who will really do a very nice job for the Catholic Church and for the humanity.
Many parishioners are closely watching what happens in Rome, but not everyone.
I've intentionally not been paying a lot of attention, in part because I think we overly politicize some of these things. Obviously there are political forces, you could say, within the church, but there's also something kind of mysterious about it.
One of the apparent frontrunners for the papacy is Filipino Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. He went to the Catholic University of America, earning a licentiate in sacred theology in 1987. He completed his doctorate in sacred theology in 1991.
There's some local connection. Yeah, I didn't know that. And then, one day there'll be more American cardinals, then we'll see.
Monsignor Walter Rossi says it's a process of prayer.
None of us knows who it will be or how long it will take, but we do know that it is under the guidance of the Holy Spirit.
So everyone is waiting for that signal of white smoke emanating from the Vatican. Until then, the cardinals will be voting up to 4 times a day, twice in the morning and twice at night, until they elect a new pope. We're live in Northeast. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thanks to him. And let's head over to meteorologist Damon Madsen for a first look at our forecast. And Damon, let's just have a group discussion right now.
Let's do it.
Okay. It was just flat out gorgeous today. I don't even talk like that.
Fantastic. Keep throwing out words.
Not much discussion
fantastic.
we had, right? Not much discussion. We all agree. It was just fantastic. I love it. I love it. Hey, yeah, we had a beautiful day out there today, folks, as we finally broke out of this soggy stretch we've been on. No rainfall to worry about. No rainfall to be found across the DMV. The last few showers were very early in the morning before sunrise. We had those showers out across our northern counties. But otherwise, the radar is quiet. Now, the only catch is that it has not been totally sunny. And as a matter of fact, right now, we're seeing more clouds in the sky spread out over the DMV, making it look a little bit gray. But there's still some sunshine trying to break on through. And the earlier sunshine we had made a difference. How about it? We've made it to the lower middle 70s across most of the DMV. You're finding slightly warmer temperatures down to the south towards central Virginia. Culpeper sitting at 77 right now. All in all, though, the 70s, a decent amount of sunshine earlier has made it feel extremely comfortable, and it will stay dry for us to continue to enjoy the rest of this afternoon, evening. If you haven't been out and about, yes, we will be dealing with more of those clouds straight until sunset, but at least we'll be able to enjoy these pleasant temperatures to wrap up the day. Now, as we head into your Thursday, Friday, both look to be a little bit more soggy once again as this dry weather comes to an abrupt end. When should we be ready to break those umbrellas and those rain jackets back out on Thursday? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
Damon, thank you. And the district police are searching for the driver of a deadly hit and run. It happened early this morning near the U Street Metro Station. Police arrived to 12th and U just after 4 this morning and found the man had been hit by a car. He died at the scene and the driver took off. Police say that the car is a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe with Maryland tags. The license plate number on our website, dcnewsnow.com.
We're getting reports of increased immigration and homeland security enforcement activity around the city.
Yeah, flyers began circulating on social media Sunday night, alerting people to possible enforcement targeting restaurants and delivery drivers. DC News Now's Candace Cole has more.
ICE is reportedly targeting D.C. restaurants with inspection notices asking to see I-9 paperwork for employees. Those are the mandatory documents that determine work eligibility, showing proof of citizenship or resident status. According to one outlet, Migrant Insider, ICE is targeting restaurant workers specifically at Subway franchises and gig workers delivering for DoorDash. Other reports name Chef Jeff's, Millie's, and Ghost Burger as other ICE targets. That information has not been independently verified by DC News Now. Warnings circulated on social media Sunday to expect an increased presence of ICE in D.C. on Tuesday and Wednesday. During a press conference, Mayor Muriel Bowser said she is disturbed by the reports she's received of ICE agents targeting restaurants and neighborhoods. She says MPD is not involved in those efforts. Abel Nunez with the Central American Resource Centers says the ramped up efforts on enforcement have caused a chilling effect, something he says is visible on otherwise busy streets like 14th Street, which have seen less traffic recently. For anyone worried about being stopped by ICE, Nunez offers this advice.
Prepare instead of despair, right? And that means that you have a clarity around what you will do with your children, like who picks them up to school in the short term. If you are in detention, who takes care of them long term? If you happen to be in front of ICE, understand that you still have rights. And the main right that you have is to remain silent, not to self-incriminate.
Now, we did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security for comments on these reports. We have not heard back yet. In the studio, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
Candace, thank you. The Trump administration wants Congress to set aside more money for its immigration crackdown. They say the new funding would help pay for more mass deportations, but Democrats argue the administration is already misusing funds for that.
DC News Now is your local election headquarters. The race in Virginia to replace Democratic Congressman Jerry Connolly is widening. Democratic State Senator Stella Pekarsky, who represents the 36th district, plans to run for the seat. In a campaign video, the former public school teacher says she refuses to stay silent against the current Republican-led federal government. And on Monday, Connolly announced he won't seek re-election after his cancer returned. He's held that seat since 2009. Two other candidates have entered the race to replace him. Former Republican nominee Mike Van Meter, who ran against Connolly last year, and Braddock District Supervisor James Walkinshaw, who previously served as Connolly's chief of staff.
Starting today, you must have a real ID or other compliant form, of ID to fly in the U.S. With a change years in the making after numerous delays dating back to 2008. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone live at Reagan National Airport in Marielle, where travelers turned away today if they didn't have the proper ID.
Mark, they shouldn't have been today. We know TSA is saying if you didn't have that real ID today, you would be subject to some additional security screenings. Now, today there were agents on hand answering questions. Meanwhile, at local DMVs, people were still scrambling to get those new IDs. Inside the Arlington DMV, crowds of people lining up, waiting to get their real ID.
Everybody in there is getting a real ID.
Deborah Bayanen was one of them, at least she tried to be.
So you have to have proof of address, 2 forms of ID. I was just missing one proof of address, so I couldn't get it today.
But she plans to get it as soon as possible.
Because I do fly a lot, so I do need it.
As of Wednesday, TSA checkpoints across the country are now requiring a real ID or other form of compliant ID to fly.
We want to know who's boarding the flights. We want to know that you are who you say you are.
Lisa Farbstein is with the TSA and says a real ID includes stricter security standards. They were developed after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, but took nearly 2 decades to finally implement. To know if you have one,
You're going to look for a star on that license.
According to the TSA, 81% of travelers already have a real ID or other acceptable form of ID.
Because today's the deadline, I need to travel. So
Terry Welter is now part of that group.
Actually, it was easy. I made an appointment ahead of time, and they got me in within 5 minutes.
But others are still skeptical.
Basically, is the fly, and that's it.
Ken Tyler says he's never flown before and doesn't plan to, so he's not getting one.
I just stay on the ground.
And some other forms of compliant ID include your passport, a tribal nation card, and more. We've got that full list for you up on our website. That is dcnewsnow.com. Reporting live from Reagan National, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.